Hey guys, this is Leah with Scott Leroy Marketing, and in today's tip video, I'm going to show you how you can sign the form as the agent in DocuSign. So there's generally two ways that you can sign as the agent. So if this is a form that you need to sign as the agent, so like a listing agreement or buyer agency, for example, you will be given the option to sign the form directly from the envelope. So if you've already sent out the form to be signed, you'll be able to actually sign it right from here. Okay, so you'll see the envelope. Let me show you that one more time. You'll see the envelopes tab on your room, and I am going to take you through this process completely. But just in case you've already sent this and need just a quick answer, you are able to sign that right from the envelopes tab of your DocuSign room. You'll see the envelope that was sent out and the date that it was sent to confirm that's the correct one. And you'll also see that it needs your signature here, so you can come in and just go ahead and sign right from here. Okay. Now I'm going to take you now through the steps of how to get to where I am in this tip video right here. So I'm going to click on back to get back to my DocuSign room. So if you'd like to follow along, I'm going to start from the Documents tab of my DocuSign room. So at this point, I have already added the form to my Documents tab of the DocuSign room. And we do that by clicking the Add button on the top right to grab our DocuSign forms. And just in case you need a full video on how to, start your opportunity in Command to then start your DocuSign room, grab your forms, and send for electronic signatures, I will include the 20-minute overview of just DocuSign basics of what you need to know in the notes if you'd like to check this out. Sorry, the YouTube description of this video. All right, but for this tip video, I'm going to show you now how you can go ahead and sign as the agent. So opening the form, right, typically you would have needed to edit the form by clicking on the form in your room. And editing the forms in DocuSign is as simple as clicking on the text boxes that are in the form to fill that out. All right, so in this example, you would have already wanted to fill out the entire form and click Save and Close. So now to go ahead and send that off to my clients to be signed. Now to send this form out after I've clicked on it to open it and edit it and saved it, I'll go ahead and click on the Envelopes tab on the very top room toolbar here. So the envelopes, okay, this is a concept that was not in dotloop, but we'll think of snail mail to try to make sense of it, because it does make sense when you connect it to snail mail in my mind at least. So once I click the Envelopes tab on the very top toolbar, we'll click New on the top right. This blue New button. Think about now literally going to grab an envelope that you're going to stuff in the mail. Okay, so we have a physical envelope in our hand here. So that's what we're doing. So the first step is we need to put the document in the envelope. So here I'll go ahead and click to select from the room Docs, that blue button right here. And then click the checkbox to the left of any of the form names to pull that in. Of course, guys, feel free to pause the video to follow along. And if you're used to bringing the form into an envelope in a slightly different way, that's totally fine. There's a couple different ways to start an envelope. So again, we click the Room Docs option to search the forms that we already have in our room, and these are forms we already would have edited. Click the checkbox to the left of the form and click Add Selected. And there we have it. All right, so at this point in our snail mail scenario, we'll go ahead and add the recipients. So from here, we'll click Add Recipients. Typically, you'll always want to select the top option, just to help you remember, because these options will vary depending on if it's a PDF or an interactive form. But the way I remember is I always select the top one, top option there. And we'll go ahead and select our sellers from this drop-down. Got Owen Wilson buying a house today, listing the house. And then we need to go ahead and add Ourself as the listing agent. This is of course important, particularly for this tip video since you are signing as the agent. This is an important part. You'll need to go ahead and assign yourself as the listing agent so that the signature fields for the listing agent will be signable by you. and we'll click Add Selected. Now, just a heads up, a little extra tip here with DocuSign. A pretty cool feature is actually, you'll notice these ones to the left of the recipient's names here, right? The client and then myself as the listing agent. Just a heads up, if you want the form to come to you to sign second, right? So if you want it so that your client signs the form first, and after they are done signing, it then goes to you, to your email second, to then sign, you do have the ability to set it up like that. Okay, this feature can be used in a variety of different ways, but that's one of them to control, you won't even receive the form to sign until after your clients have signed. In this case, I'm going to leave those both as ones. Okay, if I want to go ahead and just sign the form after I send it, and I can click Next on the top right. Now from this page in the envelope, you don't really need to do anything, especially since in this example, we were using a DocuSign interactive form, meaning we were able to just start typing in the form when we opened it in our DocuSign room. So in this theory, right, we have already filled out the entire form, right? It's already typed in. However, just so you know, you do have the option to add these fields on the left-hand side to edit the form further. However, the main thing to do at this point is to check over your signature fields. So you'll notice on the very bottom of each page, you'll see the initial boxes already added in. Now you'll see that added in for the individual agent and for your client. And I know your form will look slightly different. I have a North Carolina form, but the concept will still be the same. What I want you to note is the difference in coloring of these two fields. So if you notice, the coloring of those fields will actually correspond to the drop-down on the very top left of your page here. So you'll see the different color for your client, right? He has a blue field. So if you keep scrolling down, you'll see all the blue fields indicating where your client will be able to sign, and all the yellow fields are indicating where you can sign as the client, okay? Or whatever those colors may be. I can also look at the recipient preview on the top right. I really like to do that just to ensure that I set it up correctly, especially if you're newer to DocuSign. This is great to help me sleep at night, to know that I can view it as the client would, on their phone or tablet, to see, okay, they're able to sign it. I set it up correctly. I can literally click Start right here and go through and pretend to sign it as the client to make sure all fields are signed and taken care of. And this is just a preview for you in the back end. So once you're done with that, you can simply click the X on the top right to go back to the form, and then click Send on the top right. And if this is not ready to send on your screen, no worries. Feel free to just watch on mine. So at this point, what has happened is that the form has gone out to my client's email, and it actually went out to my email address as well to sign as the agent. So you absolutely could open your email right now and sign the form from there. However, it also brings you straight over to this Envelopes tab, which will show you any envelopes that were sent in this transaction, okay? And all that means is any time that one form or a batch of forms were sent out. So in this case, I can see today's date of the envelope that I just sent. I can see it needs my signature, so I can go ahead and click on that. I can see that I can go ahead and sign that from here. I need to sign. I can click the blue sign button. So now we're being taken to the form itself to go ahead and go through and sign as the agent. Here I go, I'm signing as the agent. And I can click Finish on the top right. Now this is important to note. This is a difference in dotloop to DocuSign, and a difference that you need to know as far as when you can go view the signatures on the form. Now you'll receive an email when your clients sign the form. All right, however, you'll notice the difference between these two envelopes, right? This one's completed, right? And what that means is I'll be able to view all of the signed forms from this envelope in the Documents tab. However, if your envelope still says waiting for others, that means that you will not be able to see those signatures on the form in your DocuSign room. Okay, so you will not be able to see the signatures on the form in the actual document section of your room until all parties have signed or completed their action. Okay, so just so you know, when you get an email, confirming that one of your clients has signed, but maybe there are two clients on the transaction, so you go to check your room to look for that, signed copy by that one client that you received an email they signed and you're not seeing that, right? That will not come to you until both parties have signed. And when it does come to you, that will come back as actually a totally separate form. It'll be a separate PDF with a green check mark right here. Where this icon is, you'll see a green check mark saying signed, and that will show you the fully signed copy. All right, guys, I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you are trying to add your signatures to a fully signed form, so if you are trying to add your signatures to a PDF or a previously signed form, I'll include a tip video in the description of this YouTube that addresses that answer. That will be slightly different steps. If you have any questions, please feel free to email support@scottleroymarketing.com. We'd be more than happy to help. All right, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.